The U-2 plane has been completely shrouded in secrecy since it was first designed in 1955. This is hardly surprising when you consider that it became one of the greatest and most famous spy planes of all time. Welcome back, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be doing a video on the U-2 aircraft. Let's start with the history and background of the U-2. The actual reason that the military decided it was necessary to design this spy plane was the Cold War. The US military realized they needed intel on the Soviet Union's military capabilities. The first prototype of the U-2 was flown in 1955, and by 1956, just 1 year later, it was operational. Since then, the U-2 has been deployed to Korea, the Balkans, Afghanistan, and Iraq. It was also notably used during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Before I get too far, I just want to go back and point out that this reconnaissance plane was designed in complete secrecy by Kelly Johnson and Lockheed. Upon learning this, my first thought was, where is the R? The R in the SR-71 Blackbird means reconnaissance, which would have been on the U-2 if it had not been such a secret project. Instead of R for reconnaissance, the US military decided to stick a U on it. U for utility. That way, rather than a threatening spy plane to look out for, the enemy thinks that the US is just building a silly utility aircraft, nothing to worry about or even take notice of. In this photo, probably the first thing to jump out at you is that oddly shaped oval on the back of the plane. That is a satellite communications system capable of collecting data beyond the line of sight and around the globe. Now, before I get to how the pilots of the U-2 are like astronauts, let me quickly give you the stats of this aircraft. The U-2 can generate 17,000 pounds of thrust, has a length of 63 feet, a height of 16 feet, a weight of 16,000 pounds, a max takeoff weight of 40,000 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 2,950 gallons, and a payload of 5,000 pounds. You might want to replay this part if that's at all interesting to you. As noted on screen, these are the important facts, the facts you will want to really pay attention to because I will be referencing them in a minute. To start, this aircraft has a wingspan of 105 feet, a ceiling of above 70,000 feet, and a range of more than 7,000 miles. Another thing to keep in mind is that this plane was not without competition. In fact, just the SR-71 Blackbird that I mentioned a few moments ago was a competitor to this plane. One interesting difference between the two is that the Blackbird had a top speed of 2,200 miles per hour, while the U-2 is almost put to shame at a top speed of only 410 miles per hour. The Blackbird actually ended up replacing the U-2. Now, as promised, on to how the pilots who flew this plane were like astronauts. Looking at this picture, their suits look remarkably similar. This is because engine flameouts were common at high altitudes, and they needed protection from cockpit depressurization. In fact, this was no small ordeal. More than a dozen U-2 pilots died. Flying at 70,000 feet was very dangerous. Another problem for the pilots of the U-2 comes when it is finally time to land. This is because the 105-foot wingspan that makes this plane great for flying and staying in the air also keeps it in the air, making it very difficult to land. Add to this that the pilot has been in that suit for up to 8 hours or more, unable to move, and that the helmets greatly obstruct natural peripheral vision. It was a recipe for disaster. To aid this, it was decided that another person would be in a car on the runway, giving feedback and helping make sure the pilot touches down safely. Subscribe if being a U-2 pilot sounds hard. Thank you for subscribing and helping my channel. Also, please watch my other video on the SR-71 Blackbird, and don't forget to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. To be fair, let's ask a U-2 pilot himself. If he does a thumbs down, don't subscribe. If he does a thumbs up, then subscribe please. That looks like a thumbs up to me. One of the coolest things about the U-2 is that it is still running to this day. That is something that cannot be said about the SR-71 Blackbird. Oh, And as for how the U-2 earned the name Dragon Lady, when the Air Force bought the U-2s from the CIA, the transaction codename was Project Dragon Lady. This stuck as a nickname. Thank you for watching Hand Axe and Satchel. Signing. Welcome back, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be doing another exciting video on the F-22 versus the F-15. Now you might be like, hey, the F-22 costs $150 million. That should be a way better fighter jet. But in this video, we're going to see just how close the two jets really are, and the underdog might win. No spoilers, but let's jump right in. With speed, the F-22 comes in at Mach 2, which is 2 times the speed of sound, if you've forgotten. Well, the F-15 actually comes in at Mach 2.2. Now, notice I did not say Mach 2.2 or Mach 22. It comes in at Mach 2, TOO. Now, let's move on to stealth. In the stealth category, the F-22 handily wins, and this time it really does win with the F-15 having no real opposition to the F-22 here, because the F-22, with its high price tag, does come with a cost of $150 million, as I said before, but it actually, on radars, shows up the same size as a Bumblebee. It completely wins in stealth. Now, getting into thrust, the F-22 has 35,000 pounds of thrust from each engine, while the F-15 has 23,450 pounds of thrust, but that is from both engines combined, so the F-22 once again wins. Next, we're starting with the F-15 Eagle this time. The F-15 Eagle has a range of 3,450 miles. That's a pretty impressive range, but let's see what the F-22 Raptor has to offer in this category. The answer is not much, because it has a range of 1,850 plus miles, giving a clear and decisive victory to the F-15 Eagle. Now, in the section of ceiling, we are starting off with the F-22 Raptor, and it has a ceiling of 50,000 plus feet. Now that's pretty high, but you gotta wait and see what the F-15 Eagle has to offer, because it packs a punch. And that punch is packed with 65,000 plus feet, giving another clear victory to the F-15 Eagle. By the way, if you haven't checked out my video on the F-22 Raptor versus the F-35 Lightning, go check that out, because the F-22 Raptor actually wins against the F-35 Lightning, so I'm comparing the better of the new fighter jets with this much older fighter jet. Pretty interesting. Now for length, which is only partly a category in complete fairness, the F-15 has a length of 63.8 feet. Now, if you want to know what the F-22 has, it is... I'm not going to give it to you that easy. You guys always think I'm going to spoil it. I'm not going to. You have to wait till the next slide. The F-22, on the other hand, now that you've waited for it, has a length of 62.1 feet. So, that is another victory for the F-15. Our underdog just might be taking a lead, but you don't know that yet because you don't have the scores. Only I do. That's why I'm tallying the votes right now. Did I say I was tallying the votes? Yes, I did. But am I going to give you guys more info? Of course, I love my Hand Axe and Satchel viewers, so today I'm going to give you even more info! Yes! Under promise, over deliver all the way. So, for fuel capacity, the F-15 Eagle has a fuel capacity of 36,200 pounds of fuel. Now we got to see what the F-22 has. While the measly F-22 shrinks away with its $150 million price tag and only 26,000 pounds of fuel. That's sad. Can you imagine only having 26,000 pounds of fuel? I'm joking, that's still a lot. But, on to the next category. Starting our next category of roll-off, the F-15 Eagle has a role of tactical fighter, but will it be able to make a tactical defeat of the F-22? You are about to see. And the answer is no, it does not. The F-22 is meant for air dominance and as a multi-role fighter, unseating the F-15 in a unexpected victory. On to the next category. Now, for the amount of missiles, the thing that really makes a fighter jet, we have the F-22 coming in with 2 AIM-9 missiles and 6 AIM-120 missiles. Now we have to see, what does the F-15 have to offer? Can it be beaten out or knocked out of the sky with these missiles? You're about to find out. Before you find out, I know, cliffhanger, but before you find out, just take a minute to admire this photo. And also, pretty cool that somebody actually snapped a picture of this guy as he was firing a missile. But now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the F-15 has 4 AIM-9 missiles and 4 AIM-120 missiles, making it a complete tie. And now, for the cannon. They actually both have cannons, but the F-22 has a 20mm cannon with 480 rounds of bullets to shoot at enemy fighter jets, because that's what you do with bullets, or satellites if you're an F-15. The F-15 actually once fired a missile at a satellite, but let me get into the F-15 right now. And now, once again, taking another moment to admire this incredible picture. But now, for the final category, the winner of the final category, and then I'll tell you the big winner overall. The F-15 Eagle has a 20mm cannon with 940 rounds, nearly doubling the amount of the F-22, and you're about to see who the final winner is. The F-22 has lost to the F-15 with a score of 4-6, giving the F-15 a huge win in this department, showing the underdog can beat out the modern fighter jets in actual statistics. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Go check out my other videos. Have a great day. Handak and Satchel signing off. Subscribe for more. Have a great... Welcome back, Handak and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be doing a very exciting and very interesting video on Pearl Harbor. You're going to learn so much about it. It's going to be insane. By the end, the only better experience will have actually been going there during it, which would have been pretty dangerous to do anyway. So just come with me on this tour of Pearl Harbor. You're going to learn so much. So let's stick around to the end and dive right in, really. Probably, if not the best thing about this video that you're probably not going to find anywhere else, is that I'm going to give you a timeline. Now, to start out this timeline, we have at 1 a.m. midget subs were released. Now, these are Japanese midget subs. This is an example on screen of what they look like. You're going to be seeing this picture many more times, but without the actual Japanese midget sub text, so you can see even more of the screen. But yes, that was at 1 a.m., and there's going to be a few jumps into the timeline at the beginning, but it's going to get fast and interesting at the end. Then, at 3:42 a.m., the wake of a Japanese sub was spotted by American forces around Pearl Harbor. Mind you, that's a pretty big jump, 2 hours and 42 minutes. At 6:30 a.m., General Fuchida begins towards Pearl Harbor with his air fleet. This is a picture of him. At 6:45 a.m., the first shot was fired at the sub that they had seen the wake of at 3:42 a.m. and that was the first shot fired at that sub, and more importantly, mind you, at 6:45 a.m., so note that down, the first shot fired in the war, in the Second World War from the U.S. Now this was when U.S. first got involved. Very important. The next important part was at 6:51 a.m., and that was when an important message went out. Depth-bombed sub operating in defensive sea area. Then, at 7:55 a.m., the first bomb dropped on Ford Island Naval Air Station. That was at 7:55. Now, we're still before most of the very interesting bombings, catching fire, all those sorts of things happened, but that was when the first bomb dropped on Ford Naval Air Station, and that is a picture of it on screen. At 7:57 a.m., just 2 minutes after the first bomb dropped at Ford Island Naval Air Station, the U.S.S. Helena caught fire. Also, this is a pretty big ship, but nothing compared to U.S. aircraft carriers nowadays. Well, I'll be darned, there's another important announcement, but it was very important, and it was at 7:58, 1 minute after the USS Helena caught fire, and it said, air raid on Pearl Harbor. This is no drill. Well, it wasn't a drill, it was an air raid. It's a good thing they put the message out, and it was a very important message, it was a very iconic message, and so that's another note to put down in your notebooks. At 8:08 a.m., the Oklahoma was gone, and 400 plus soldiers and sailors died. Then, at 8:11 a.m., the Arizona, a bomb struck the Arizona's forward powder magazines and boilers, and it all just went off, and 1,000 plus more immediately were killed. Then, at 8:25 a.m., Fuchida's group left, and that was the end of that first attack force, but unfortunately, that was not it. By 8:30 a.m., the enemy had virtually vanished from the skies, and George Wealth and Kenneth Taylor hopped in their P-40s. Now, if you don't know what a P-40 looks like, you're about to find out, but these are what George Wealth and Kenneth Taylor look like, and they went up and they tried to look for the enemy, and they were actually the only ones credited with air kills on all of Pearl Harbor. So that's pretty impressive. Just like I promised, here is a picture of a P-40, the same type of P-40s that Welsh and Taylor would have been in. And then, at 8:40, the Nevada, the USS Nevada, set out because it did not want to be a sitting duck, and it thought that if it could get to the open sea, it could actually move around and defend itself, which was a good idea, but so it set out. I'm not going to tell you, you're going to have to wait like 5 more minutes, well, at least in this time, not 5 minutes in real time. Then, by 8:41, Shimazaki's planes had come. Welsh and Taylor were actually up in the air, because before they had mainly just been getting to the airshore where they could get off and up into the air. And Japan's strafers were there. And by 9 o'clock, the Nevada had stopped its voyage because it knew that if it was actually bombed and was forced to be stuck in the middle of the canal getting out, that would leave the entire harbor blocked off, and that wasn't good. So it ended its little spree of the sea. Next, at 9:12 a.m., the USS U.S.A.F took a hit. Also, one thing to notice is how this particular boat has like way higher edges on one side and way shorter edges on the other. That's kind of interesting. But unfortunately, it gets worse. By 9:30, the fire on the Shaw from the hit at 9:12 had reached the forward magazines, and in case you don't remember from what happened to the Arizona, when a fire or an explosion happens anywhere near the forward magazines, the entire ship is gone. And that's unfortunately the same fate that happened to the Shaw. Then, at 9:37, 7 minutes after the USS Shaw was toast, the USS Cassin took a hit, and that represented the last big explosion on Pearl Harbor, which is good that it was the last big explosion, but still, many things were lost by that point. Next, at 10:02 a.m., the USS California was abandoned. This is a picture of the USS California. By 3 o'clock p.m., 2 men who were tapping, and they used tapping to try and get attention from the people outside that they were still underneath, because a lot of times it had sank and everything was flipped, so they were trapped inside. 2 men who were tapping the USS California were saved. Unfortunately, 2 men, or I think it was 4 men in the USS Oklahoma were not saved and were only abandoned on Christmas Eve, and that was many days later. And at 11:27 a.m., now I know I did jump, but at 11:27 a.m., 4 B-26s launched to search for the enemy. By that time, the enemy was pretty much just gone. I thought I'd throw in a picture of the USS Condor. That's an interesting boat. A fun, but actually sad fact. So the USS Arizona, where 1,000 men were killed instantly, was carrying so much fuel at the time that it was demolished, really. That when it sank, it has so much fuel that it's still currently emitting and leaking fuel. So if you look in this picture, kind of in the middle, you can see fuel and oil still leaking. Next, this is the Japanese Zero. It was a very devastating plane on Pearl Harbor. It was the Mitsubishi Zero, and it was a fighter. And there were 43 of those used. This is Japanese General Yamamoto. He was the one who essentially organized the entire attack. This is a fun and very interesting picture. You can pause it, replay it to this point because you might want to, and I'm going to be giving a lot of stats. So the deaths, or first I'll start with the amount of aircraft lost. There were 96 Army aircraft lost, 92 Navy and Marine aircraft, and 159 aircraft damaged. Even worse than the military aircraft loss was the tragic amount of humans lost. 2,403 were dead, 68 of that number were civilians. Another 1,100, or nearly 1,200 people were wounded. Surprisingly, it wasn't just Pearl Harbor that was attacked. Every airfield on Oahu was attacked. For these reasons, it is important that we remember Pearl Harbor and never forget about the sacrifices that these brave men and women made for our country, and that we just salute them in every way possible and thank them for their service. So thank you. And, well, you've learned a lot about Pearl Harbor, and wait to the next slide. On a happier note, World War II might have gone on much longer had the U.S. not gotten involved, and more people would have been killed. And the last thing that we need was more people being killed, so it worked out, not horribly. It was very tragic, though, at the time. So, there's that. Thank you for watching. I hope you did learn a lot. Please subscribe. It really helps to see more things like this. Go check out my other videos. Have a great day. Hand, Dak, and Satchel. The F-22 versus the F-35 Lightning. Which one's better? They're both advanced. They're both modern fighter jets. They're both really fast and great fighters in the U.S. Air Force. But which one is actually the better fighter jet? Welcome back, Hand, Dak, and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be doing a very hotly debated issue. The F-22 Raptor versus the F-35 Lightning, and we are going to expose the real winner by the end of this video. You're going to want to stick around to the end because it is groundbreaking. First, we are on to speed, where the F-22 has a speed of Mach 2 whereas the F-35 has a speed of Mach 1.6. And for those of you who don't know what Mach is, it is the speed of sound. So in this category, it is a very clear win for the F-22 Raptor. In the next, and perhaps most important round, for a stealth fighter jet, you have, well, like I just said, stealth. And in this round, the F-22 totally wins because, and here's why. The F-22 has a stealth, and this is how much you can see on the radar. It will appear the size of a bumblebee. The F-35 Lightning cannot do that. At least I don't think so. So yes, F-22 wins. For length, the F-22 has a length of 62 feet and 1 inch, whereas the F-35 only has a length of 51 feet. For reference, the F-15 Eagle is like 63 feet, so that would be both of them. So F-15 all the way. I'm personally a very big F-15 fan. Go watch my video on the F-15 too. I've got a video on the F-35 and the F-22. As for ceiling, it comes to a tie. They both have a ceiling of above 50,000 feet. So that's a pretty high ceiling. It's kind of average for modern fighter jets, but this is one of the areas where they tie. So comment in the comment section down below which one you think is currently winning, because one is. For thrust, the F-22 has 35,000 pounds of thrust, but that's for each engine. The F-22 is the one on the right, just for reference, whereas the F-35 has 43,000 pounds of thrust, but that's for its single engine. Also, the F-22 has the most powerful fighter jet engine in the world currently, so that's a nice title to have going for you. For range, the F-22 has a range of 1,850 miles plus, whereas the F-35 has a range of 1,350 miles plus. That gives the F-22 yet another win. Yep, it's leading right now. For the fuel capacity, the F-35, I'm going to start with the F-35 this time. The F-35 has a fuel capacity of 18,498 pounds of fuel, whereas the F-22 has a fuel capacity of 26,000 pounds of fuel. That's another win for the F-22. But in case you guys think I'm being biased towards the F-22, I'm going to do my last category, and you'll wait and see. But before I do my last category, I'm just gonna say that I'm not gonna give it to you guys that easy. You guys always think I'm gonna give it to you right there, but I'm not going to yet. Please subscribe to this video. If you subscribe, you'll be able to see all my upcoming videos, and there might be, now I'm not gonna release anything, there might be daily activities for Christmas, and a whole lot more fun facts about aircraft carriers, planes, and stuff you're gonna want to see, so please subscribe. And now, for the final category. They both have a crew of exactly one person, so it comes down to a tie for F-22, F-35, but I thought in this picture I should also point out that that looks to be a P-38 Lightning in it, so that's neat. Give the video a like because of it. Always give likes for P-38 Lightnings. P-38 Lightning and F-35 Lightning, 2 Lightnings. Give it a like for that too, and subscribe. Oh, and I know I said it was the last category for the crew, but I figured I'd throw in one more. I always like to give more valuable content to my viewers. Thank you, Hand Axe Nostalgia viewers. But for role, the F-22 also wins because it is meant for air dominance and a multi-role fighter, whereas the F-35 is just a lowly multi-role fighter. No, I'm just joking. Nothing bad about being a multi-role fighter. But F-22 has more roles, so it wins. So just in case you haven't figured it out yet, the winner of this video is very, very, very clearly the F-22 Raptor. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope this clears up all the discussions about the F-22 versus the F-35, because people have been discussing it and debating all the time. So I hope this clears it all up and gives you a fresh appreciation for the F-22. Hand Axe Nostalgia. F-18 or F-22? Which one's better? Well, if you're asking that question, then this video is the right one for you. Today we're going to be doing a video on the top 6 U.S. fighter jets. That's right, so let's just jump right in. The fighter jets will be ranked from 6 to 1, and I'm pretty sure 1 is going to shock you. Welcome back, Hand-Ack and Satchel viewers. Now, you guys, for those of you who know my channel, make sure to keep enjoying my videos, and for those of you who don't, watch this video and then you're going to be enjoying my videos. Let's dive right in. Number 6, believe it or not, is actually the F-35 Lightning. Now, you might be like, hey, Hand-Ack and Satchel, that's a pretty advanced jet, but here's why it's number 6. It doesn't rank very high in terms of a lot of the statistics that make, at least in my opinion, a very good fighter jet. And I'm going to stop explaining. I'm just going to give you pure statistics right now. The F-35 Lightning has a speed of around 1,200 miles per hour. While extremely fast, it's just not even close to the jets that are about to come up on this list. It actually ranks number 6 with that kind of speed, right behind the... You didn't think I was going to give it to you that easy, did ya? No, definitely not. It has a ceiling of 50,000 plus feet. Now that's pretty generic. That's one of the ones where it ranked like midway through. The ceiling ranking was 5th, and it could be 4th depending on how you slice it, because a lot of them have 50 plus thousand feet as the ceiling. So it's still not very extraordinary there. But one thing I do think is worth mentioning is this next feature. That feature being that it has been speculated that it will be replacing the A-10 Warthog and the F-16 Fighting Falcon. Now, you might be like, why does that matter? Well, it matters because the A-10 Warthog is meant for low ground attack. And I think that when you put that into play, it does make it a bit more incredible that they put that into a fighter jet. Also, there's another thing. This feature does not work to its advantage on this ranking. Its range. It has a range of 1,350 plus miles, which once again puts it number 6 in terms of range. Not that great. Now that spoiler that I was about to give you, but made sure not to, was that number 5 is the F-18 Hornet. Yep, that's right. The F-18 Hornet comes in at number 5, and you're gonna see why. Its stats are far superior to the F-35, in my opinion, and make it it's like a whole rank above, in my opinion. Coming in with a speed of 1,360 miles per hour, that puts it 160 miles per hour faster than the F-35, also putting it at number 5 in the ranking. The F-18 Hornet also has a ceiling of 50,000 feet, which is pretty generic. Once again, that actually puts it at number 6 for ceiling ranking, but this next thing that I think is pretty cool is one of the reasons it gets bumped up on the list. And that is aircraft carrier capability. Now, when you can fly off an aircraft carrier, that's pretty incredible. I think the F-35 might be able to too, but this one's far more iconic, and it deserves more recognition, in my opinion, because it's got something else. It's Navy. It's a Navy plane, and it can do the whole aircraft carrier landing thing. And correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but I'm not sure that the F-35 can do that, and certainly a lot of the ones to come can't. Another area that this fighter jet shines is its range. It has a range of 2,000 miles of ferry range. Now that's quite a lot. That puts it at number 3 of range ranking. Also, you might notice that the Navy seems to have shorter ranges due to the fact that they have aircraft carriers and can basically place their takeoff anywhere in the world. If you pay attention, you'll notice that. Stay focused. We're getting closer to number 1. At number 4, the F-16 Fighting Falcon. Now, with this aircraft, I'm going to just point out it has an M61A1 20mm multi-barrel cannon with 500 rounds. That's pretty neat. But number 1 has way cooler arms to boot. Also, for the F-16, I'm going to show you some more cool stuff. It has a speed of 1,500 miles per hour. Now we're starting to get up higher. It ranks number 4 with speed. But another thing to point out would be, notice how the newer aircraft, examples of F-18, F-35, F-22, have much less overall ability than a lot of the older aircraft, for example the F-15, F-14, and F-16. If that didn't quite make sense, just keep paying attention to the rest of the video and it'll make more sense throughout. You can back it up to re-hear what I said after you've finished. Another thing to note about this plane is its ceiling. The F-16's ceiling is 50,000 plus feet. Once again, like I said, a lot of planes and fighter jets have 50,000 plus feet, and that ranks it at number 4, depending on how you put it. Something else really cool is its range. Now, the F-16 Fighting Falcon has a range of 2,002 miles. Now, it almost feels like the Air Force here was just trying to outdo the Navy's F-18, which has a range of 2,000 miles, and they just added 2. So that's kind of interesting. Also, with its range, it is number 2 if it were to be just ranked off of range. Now, at number 3, we're on to the F-22 Raptor. Now, this is one of my personal favorite fighter jets, but this ranking is not biased because of it. The F-22 is designed for air dominance and a multi-role fighter. Now, the F-22 is also capable of thrust vectoring and a whole lot more, as you're about to see, and has a weight of 43,340 pounds and a maximum takeoff rate of 83,500 pounds. The F-22 Raptor has a speed of around 1,500 miles per hour, putting it at number 3 for the speed ranking. It also is, for one F-22 Raptor, just keep that in mind, for one F-22 Raptor, it'll be costing you around $143 million. That's pretty crazy, and it's only operated by one person. $143 million and one person runs it. Now, as we're covering the F-22 Raptor, we're gonna give it a ceiling of 50,000 plus feet in the sky. So a service ceiling of 50,000 plus feet. Another incredible thing about this jet, and you'll see why I put it so high later if you've been paying close attention, is its $143 million price tag. That's a lot of money for one aircraft. Now, on to the F-22's range. It has a range of 1,850 miles ferry range. Now, if you've been paying really close attention, you'll notice that this shouldn't necessarily be ranked number 3 on it. But it only gets that number 3, and I put it in 3rd because it's of extreme technology. I mean, that $143 million price tag kind of says it all for it. Now, on to number 2. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to number 1. Number 2 is the F-14 Tomcat. I know a lot of people who really love this jet, and another incredible thing about this jet, actually not another, it's the first one, is its wings fold. Yep, that's right, its wingspan with unswept is 64 feet, but when it sweeps its wings, it has a 38 feet wingspan. That's a pretty big difference, and it's a really incredible thing that this fighter jet has. Now, let's start with the F-14's ceiling, which is 56,000 feet, putting it at number 2 on the ceiling ranking. Now, that's pretty high, and you might be like, how can number 1 beat it? But it does, I promise. And here we get a good picture of its wings unswept. The F-14 also has a range of 1,600 miles, which puts it, believe it or not, number 5 on the range ranking. It's not that incredible, but if you think about all the other things, and most importantly the next fact I'm about to give to you, it becomes far more incredible. Also, the F-14 is aircraft carrier capable, just like the F-18. These are both Navy planes, so that means it has the special things needed to land on an aircraft carrier and take off. Now, with the Tomcat speed of 1,544 miles per hour, that puts it number 2 on the speed ranking, second only to number 1 because it's ranked number 2. Now, here in this picture, we get yet another picture of its wings folded, but we get a better view of it. So now you get to see, compare that with the previous photo, actually 2 photos ago, or the previous one, to see its wings unswept. Are you enjoying this video? If so, please scroll right down and hit that subscribe button. Share this video with others, anybody who knows who loves fighter jets, and make sure to also leave a comment in the comment section below. Subscribe, share this video, everything else that you know to do because you are a YouTube viewer, and I thank you. Please join the Hand Axe and Satchel group by just subscribing. It costs no money, but I think you'll get a lot of value. And now for the moment I know you've been waiting for. Number 1, the F-15 Eagle. Now, even though the F-15 Eagle was actually made starting in 1975, it still on this list ranks number 1 because it is built as a tactical fighter and meant for air superiority, and it has an internally mounted M61A1 20mm 6-barrel cannon with 940 rounds of ammunition. Another thing to note is that this plane costs $27.9 million per plane. Also, the inventory that the U.S. Air Force has of it is 249. That's quite a bit of this plane, especially with how expensive it is. Another thing to note about that is the ceiling of the F-15 at 65,000 feet, ranking it number 1 on the ceiling ranking. 65,000 feet. That's quite a bit, more than the 56,000 feet of the Tomcat. The F-15 also has a range of 3,450 miles of ferry range, ranking it number 1 range-wise, too. That's also pretty incredible. Also, you gotta love the looks of the F-15. I think it looks on par with the F-14 and F-22 because the F-22 has that really nice shiny gold cockpit, which I really think is cool. Also, look at the intakes on it. That's pretty cool, too. Some say leave the best for last. I certainly think I did that because the F-15 has a speed of 1,875 miles per hour. Now that is so fast. Also, look at on this picture, you get to see its kind of Arctic camo coating. That's interesting. Also, another thing I think you might enjoy doing is becoming a pilot yourself. Hand Axe and Satchel, what do you mean? I'll tell you what I mean. I mean, check out my next video. Actually, it's already published. You can go check it out right now. Could you survive as a modern fighter pilot? You'll be put through all the situations, well, not all of them, but some of them, and you will get to test your own skills on whether or not you would have survived as a modern fighter pilot and made the right decisions. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed making this video, so if you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, please go and hit the subscribe button, like it, share it with your friends, go to my channel, and also go and watch the next video, which has been already made, so you can go and watch it right now. Could you survive as a modern fighter pilot? You'll have a lot of fun, and after that, go and check out the real reason aircraft carriers dominate naval warfare. Hand Axe and The aircraft you see on screen could very well be America's last defense. Welcome back, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be doing a video on the B-2 bomber. I've made a couple of shorts on these, but I haven't done a full video yet, so here it is. Let's dive in. Yes, over $20 billion of this one aircraft. Just so you know, an aircraft carrier, to make and create an entire aircraft carrier, it's around $7 billion. Insane. For starters, the B-2 started service in April of 1977. Also, the B-2 Spirit bomber has a wingspan of 172 feet. Is that really worth it when you consider the price? Well, if you don't know what the price is, for a $7 billion aircraft carrier, there'd be thousands of people on board, hundreds directing and piloting it, whereas for this $1 billion aircraft, only 2 people fly it, and there have been reports that there are actually toilets on board, but no Netflix. I'll tell you right now, it's $1.157 billion. Now, what's even more surprising is the amount of these aircraft that the U.S. has at that price range. The reason these toilets are needed is because these aircraft can travel intercontinentally. That means 40 plus hours of travel. They've been used a lot, and they can stay in the air a long time. In this picture, you get to see a B-2 Spirit bomber refueling midair. Pretty cool, if I must say myself. The B-2 has a ceiling of 50,000 feet, and if you've watched a few of my previous videos, which you should do, you'd know that I would like to compare it to the modern fighter jets, which have a ceiling of around 50,000 feet too. So that's pretty high. What's not so high is my subscriber count. I'm trying to reach 1 million subscribers and I'm currently under 1,000. Please subscribe to help. But that's enough about me. Back to this incredible stealth bomber, which has 17,300 pounds of thrust. Oh wait, more in. That is per engine. This has 2 engines, so that's double that. And if you thought trucks were gas guzzlers, then take a peek at the B-2 Spirit, because it has a fuel capacity of 167,000 pounds of fuel. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the payload of this bomber. That's what makes every bomber special, is its payload. As you can see here on screen, the bombs it can carry, it has a payload of 40,000 pounds. That is still not as much as the B-52. So if that video hasn't come out, subscribe so you get notified on that. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you learned something new. Hand Axe and Satchel signing off. Did you know that the B-52 bomber first flew in April of 1952? This was only 48 years after the Wright brothers flew their first plane at Kitty Hawk. Welcome back, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be doing a video on the B-52 bomber. It's pretty darn cool, so let's dive right in. The B-52 bomber has a top speed of 650 miles per hour. Now, there are still approximately 78 or so B-52s in service. This means that the B-52, at least in all its different models, has been operating for 71 years. That also means that it's been flying for 60% of the time that airplanes have been around. Compare this to the B-1, which first flew in 1974 and is quickly being retired with only 45 remaining. The B-52 has a ceiling of 50,000 feet. That's quite high, especially when you factor in that fighter jets, modern fighter jets such as the F-22, have a ceiling of 50,000 feet too. So that means these guys, which are carrying, I'm not going to tell you the payload, but it's a lot, and they're able to fly just as high as fighter jets. The Air Force currently expects to operate the B-52s through 2050. That means it could possibly be 100 years old before it is fully retired. Most airplane designs have an expected life of only 25 to 30 years, with some being much shorter. Compare that to the B-2, which first flew in July of 1989, and there are only 20 left in service, all of which will be retired within the next 9 years. Here's a picture of a B-52 and a B-2. If you like the B-52 bomber, please subscribe to my channel. Also, the top comment, the comment with the most likes on a design for a t-shirt, will have that shirt made in the Hand Axe and Satchel store. If you haven't checked that place out yet, go check it out at zazzle.com/Hand Axe and Satchel. Let's get back to the video. Next is the payload. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. The B-52 has a payload of 70,000 pounds. In fact, the B-52 is capable of dropping or launching the widest array of weapons in the U.S. inventory. More than the B-1, and also more than the B-2. Lastly, the B-52 has a wingspan of 185 feet or 56.4 meters. That's 65 feet longer than the Wright brothers' first flight. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Hand Axe and Satchel, signing off. Catch you guys. The year is 1942, and you are a German fighter pilot. The skies are calm when all of a sudden you see a P-51 Mustang. The P-51 Mustang was one of the greatest aircraft ever, and struck fear in any pilot. Welcome back, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be doing a video on the P-51 Mustang. Yeah, this is going to be exciting, so let's dive right in. This is the P-38 Lightning, another incredible aircraft at the time, but still not as good as the P-51, and I'll explain later. This is the F-4U Corsair, another incredible fighter jet of that time period, but still not as good. And once again, now I'm about to explain. For starters, Here is some history. The P-51 was designed and made in April of 1940. It is a propeller plane, and it can fly at speeds of up to 505 miles per hour, which is pretty darn good for a prop airplane. The Mustang had an impressive ceiling of 41,900 feet. I'm not sure why it couldn't have been 42,000 and just added those extra 100 feet on, but history is history. Also, just for reference, a modern fighter jet like the F-22 could only go to around 50,000 feet. So when you consider that, it's extremely impressive that an aircraft in this time period could do that. The P-51 had a range of over 2,000 miles. Once again, that is a lot more than modern fighter jets, a lot of them, because they started taking down the range, especially on the aircraft carrier capable fighter jets, because they could just take the aircraft carrier. But back then there was quality. 2,000 plus miles. That is impressive. This is a neat photo because you get to see two P-51s escorting what looks to be a B-17. I chose this photo because this is extremely historically correct. The P-51 was used as an escort for the bombers as they did the bombing runs, and they were the ones who fought off the bandits. Oh no, you're under attack! You have to subscribe! Whoops. The P-51 took care of all the enemy aircraft. You don't have to subscribe, but I'd sure like it. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you again to those of you who subscribed. And also, I just want to let you know, this is my favorite coloring of paint. This photo pretty much speaks for itself. I don't feel the need to say much anything because this is the P-51 cockpit. Just take a good peek at that. Pretty neat. In this photo, you get to see it's 4 props. That's pretty neat, right? I guess it's 2 sets of double props. Explain to me what that is in the comments. The P-51 also has 1,490 pounds of horsepower. That's a lot of horsepower. Also, you can see the flaps down in this photo. Also, look at that brightly colored nose cap. It has a length of 32 feet. Relatively short, but quite powerful. And this is why I wanted you to pay close attention to the cockpit position on the plane. As you can see, this is the Voodoo model of the P-51 Mustang. Now this is actually not the type that was used in the war. This is a converted type for racing, as you can see. And it has the cockpit position differently. Comment in the comments. As those of you who have been following the channel closely know, I now have merch available, so as a gift to my viewers, I really appreciate all you guys, put a comment in the comment section below of what you would want to see on a Hand Axe and Satchel shirt. Then the comment with the most likes, you can even like it yourself and have your friends like it, or just the most likes period, I will put on a shirt and make available at the Hand Axe and Satchel store on Zazzle. Comment. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I really hope you learned something new. I think you probably did. Comment in the comment section what your favorite thing was. Subscribe. Have a great day. Hand Axe and Satchel. The AV-8B Harrier II is an incredible aircraft. But don't just take my word for it. Here are the facts to back it up. First off, this plane operated by the Marines has a speed of 630 miles per hour. Think it's too heavy? Well, think again. This plane only weighs 12,800 pounds empty. It has a ferry range of over 1,700 miles. And can carry more than 9,000 pounds of weapons plus 2 machine guns. Now that's what I call a lot of firepower. Just in case you thought this plane was too heavy, don't worry about it because it has 23,000 plus pounds of thrust. Just in case you're not completely sold on the AV-8 yet, it does all these things while being aircraft carrier capable. Overall, the AV-8B Harrier II is an incredible aircraft. Captain, we have a naval threat, but no F-15s can use aircraft carriers. Should we bring more ships? No, we need the quick and agile F-14 Tomcat. Welcome back, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be talking about a requested video, the Hand Axe and Satchel edition of the F-14 Tomcat. Also, I just want to say, what's up with all the animal names? The F-22 Raptor, the F-15 Eagle, I'm half expecting the F-39 Chicken, like really. This incredible plane was manufactured from 1969 to 1991, and let's find out more facts about it in just a second. It has a length of 62 feet, and I'm pretty sure in this picture that's the Jolly Rogers marking. A speed of 1,544 miles per hour, that is fast. A ceiling of more than 56,000 feet. A range of 1,600 nautical miles. Wow, this is a beautiful photo. And unlike the F-15 that I referred to earlier in the video, this plane can actually land on aircraft carriers. That has to do with how nimble it is, its turning capabilities. Oh, and it also has a rate of climb of 45,000 feet per minute. That is fast. Here's something really unique about the F-14 Tomcat. Its wings can fold in. On the left here, we see the wings folded out for flying, and it turns out they can only fly with the wings folded out, but it's like illusions of different angles. I've talked to multiple different people and done research on it. The reason that the wings can fold in is to give it a more compact design for aircraft carrier storage. Are you finding this video useful? Do you like it? If so, please subscribe, hit the like button, share it with your friends, do everything that you want to, because I hope you are enjoying this video. Let's keep on. And last, we should not forget, it has two TF-30 engines, each with over 20,000 pounds of thrust. I guess that's to get off those short runways on aircraft carriers. Thank you so much for watching. I had fun creating this. I hope you like it. I hope to see more comments. Please comment down, because you're probably going to be one of the only people, so there's a good chance that I'm going to see it and do a video about it. Thank you so much for watching. Hand out. Do you have what it takes to survive and make it through the tough situations and split-second decisions needed to make it out alive as a modern fighter jet pilot? That's right, in this video you will be given just a taste of the difficult decisions that could end your life as a fighter pilot. But before you get into the cockpit, I must tell you that this video is meant for entertainment purposes only, and no guarantees are made as to the legitimacy of the information given here. Well, welcome back, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be putting you inside the cockpit of an F-22 Raptor. You are going to be the pilot, so let's jump into this story. You wake up and know that today is the day of your first mission. You are very excited. You are an F-22 Raptor cadet pilot, and you have been informed that you'll be flying a recon mission over enemy territory. You are grateful to have an incredible stealth aircraft. You will be on a long flight of 13 hours over the ocean before you reach your destination, but you still don't know what your target is as of right now. Before you are set off, you are also told to be careful. You look out onto the runway and see your jet shining in the early morning light. You have no clue what you are about to face. Look at your jets out there. They're shining beautifully. You climb in, start the engines, and are rocketing down the runway. This is the start of your mission. After reaching cruising altitude, you throttle back and begin double-checking your maps and radio communication. Long hours go by, and all you have seen are clouds and your fellow squad members as you continue on your journey. Knowing that this is a reconnaissance mission, you understand that it is crucial that you remain undetected and unnoticed to the enemy. All of a sudden, two small blips appear on your radar. They seem to be several thousand feet below you. Now is your first big decision. Option 1. Try to be as stealthy as possible and not be noticed. Option 2. Engage your afterburners and try to outrun them. And finally, option 3. Attempt to shoot them down before you can be reported. Remember, you don't want to lose the element of surprise. You have 10 seconds to make this extremely important decision. Alrighty, I hope you decided. If you chose option C, you would have most likely sacrificed the mission because they would have alerted others of your presence and you might have lost the battle, and you would have disobeyed military protocol. Yeah, just shooting at jets is probably not the best idea. If you chose option B, you would have definitely been noticed because nothing shows up on a radar like a pack of glowing hot afterburners. Remember I said engage your afterburners? Well, if you did that, then all the heat would have come and they could have easily seen you. And they could have locked their missiles on you easily too. But if you chose option A, you would have most likely been okay. Now we have to remember that the F-22 is a stealth aircraft already. It's very stealthy. So you most likely would have been fine. You managed to fly past unnoticed and are now over land and ready to perform your surveillance. Suddenly, out of nowhere, come 5 unknown aircraft. You are nervous and have to make yet another crucial split-second decision. Option 1, hide and try not to be noticed. Option 2, send the reply or die message over the radio. Or option 3, launch your missiles toward them. Hey, if you launch them, then you can't beat. If they're destroyed, then they can't destroy you, right? If you chose option 3 or option C, you could have just blown 5 civilian or friendly aircraft out of the sky for no reason, and you would have not been following protocol. That is a very bad choice. Yeah, in addition to not just following protocol, you would have to have the guilt of killing 5 innocent people. Not good at all. If you chose option 1 or A, due to the fact that you do have a stealth jet, you might have been okay. In this situation, firing your missiles was the only option that would have certainly doomed you, meaning that option B or 2 was the correct answer. If you answered option B or 2, you would have been able to find out if they were friend and foe and act accordingly. Now, so the reply or die message is a message that they send, so if they're friendly or civilian, they'll reply and give their info, and if they're not, then that's when they would fire the missiles. Fun fact, right? You get your information, the government has gotten their intel, and that means it's time for you to head back. You are relieved that you have made it this far. Unfortunately, it seems that you have jinxed it because you feel a huge jolt, and then a second. Smoke starts fuming from your engines, and you know that you have been hit by missiles. You radio in what has happened and learn that you are not far from a U.S. aircraft carrier. You know that just like the F-15 pilot who flew without a wing, yes, that's true, an F-15 pilot during training actually was able to fly without a wing and land successfully while being on fire. How incredible is that? But just like the F-15 pilot who flew without a wing, you will probably be able to make at least a little bit farther without evacuating. Meaning ejecting. In addition to merely wanting to not be dropped off in the middle of the ocean, you also do not want your jet to be used to steal your country's secret technologies. Yes, that's right. Fighter jets can actually be taken back out of the ocean and have their technology and dashboards and stuff dissected so that they can actually break down the different technology used and replicate that in their fighter jets. It's pretty crazy stuff. You know what else is crazy stuff? Would be if you could go and hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to reach 1 million subscribers, and I think I'm at something like 100 and something currently. Please hit that subscribe button, it really helps me out. And if you're enjoying this video and want to see more videos just like it, please go hit that subscribe button, it really helps. Also, you should go and check out my other videos on the C-130 Hercules, spoiler, F-18, F-22. Unfortunately, you know that you cannot land on an aircraft carrier because you are an F-22 pilot, and F-22s are not Navy planes. If you watched the aircraft carrier video I made, you would know that there are only special planes, Navy planes, can land on aircraft carriers because they have to have the right type of landing gears that can actually latch on with those high tensions and get the arresting cable. Option 1, or A, is to try to make at least some sort of attempt to land on the runway of an aircraft carrier. After all, what are the giant runways on aircraft carriers for? Option 2, or B, is to just eject into the air and try to not crash with the plane, and the plane will probably be able to be taken back out of the water, so no secrets will be stolen from it, and a specialized team of rescue people will be able to attend to you shortly. If you chose option 1, or A, you could have damaged the aircraft carrier because the plane would have been on fire, and you should know that the F-22 is not an aircraft carrier capable. It doesn't have those. You could have hurt yourself, killed people on the deck of the aircraft carrier, because just because it's an aircraft carrier doesn't mean the deck is actually clear. So many things could have gone wrong. It would have been a bad decision. Option A, or 1, was wrong. If you chose option B, you would have made it because you smartly called in ahead of time so you would have help on the way. You would have splashed down and immediately had people rescue you right out of it. Pretty simple. You make it back to the aircraft carrier and are given a ride back to land on a C-130 Hercules. Yes, a C-130 Hercules actually did land on an aircraft carrier once, so they were able to fly off, I'm pretty sure, too. So, that is the end of the story. I do hope you passed and made it out alive. Otherwise, RIP, junior pilot. Thank you so much for watching, but before you go, I have fun facts. Yep, junior pilot, we have fun facts for the F-22. For one, it is able to thrust vector. It is a thrust vectoring jet. Say that 5 times fast. Thrust vectoring. It is only used in the U.S. It has extremely advanced technology and a very small profile because the wing and the tail wing are lined up so if you look down the front, they look like one. They also cost $150 million. Think about that. They're letting you, a junior pilot, into $150 million worth of aircraft. And I'm pretty sure it costs something like $62,000 hourly just to run it. That is so expensive. But you know what is completely free? Smashing that like button, smashing that subscribe button, more importantly, smashing that subscribe button, because it really helps me out. If you want to see more videos like this, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Go check out my other videos on my channel. I have F-22 videos, F-18, a lot of the Fs, aircraft carrier videos. You'll learn so much. Thank you so much for watching. Hand axe and Hello, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be talking about an awesome fighter jet in my opinion, and this one is going to be the F-15 Eagle. There are multiple versions of the F-15 Eagle. I do not know them all. I know there's the Strike Eagle, but today we're just going to be talking about the regular F-15 Eagle in its most basic version. It was designed in 1972, or at least that's when its first flight was taken. So let's get into some of its awesome things that it can do. It can achieve a top speed of 1,875 miles per hour, which is faster than the speed of sound, so that is incredible. It has a surface ceiling of about 65,000 feet, which is also a very impressive statistic, especially when you consider that most planes, and even fighter jets, have a ceiling of around 50 to 55,000 feet. Another unique thing about this plane is its length. It was considered one of the longer ones. It is not really capable of landing on an aircraft carrier. It is very long, does not have the kind of weight and dimensions for that. You'd have to ask someone who's really good at this kind of stuff. But it has an impressive length of 63 feet, which makes it coming in as one of the longer ones. Another name you might have heard this called by is the McDonnell Douglas 15. It was designed as an all-weather tactical fighter, permitting the Air Force supremacy over the battlefield. This is what a chicken might look trying to fly an F-15. Scared. If you like this video and want to see more, please subscribe. It really means a lot. Every subscriber counts. You are really helping my channel grow, and it's a really fun experience seeing my subscriber count grow too. Thank you so much for just clicking on that subscribe button. What video do you want to see next? I'm thinking probably more planes. I think this is probably going to be the start of a plane series. Tell me what you want to see. Put the comments down below. I love to read. I love to respond to them. So thank you so much. Have a good day. Hand, Alex, and Satchel signing out. Thank you so much for watching a Hand, Axe, and Satchel video. If you like this video, please subscribe. It really helps me out. Thank you so much. In this video, you are going to learn a lot about the F-18 Hornet and pick up quite a few facts that are super cool to share with your friends and family. Now, before I keep talking for too long, let's get right into the video. The F-18 Hornet took its first flight in 1978, and its role is as a multi-role attack and fighter aircraft. It is an incredible plane, and while I know that, you are about to figure out why, because I'm going to bring out the big guns, the statistics. Let's go. It has a length of 56 feet, which is cool. Comment down below if you know what that white stuff coming out of it is. I'm not sure what that is, but that looks cool too. Also, there is a Hornet and a Super Hornet edition, and besides the list of additional things that differ between two, I'm pretty sure the Super Hornet is actually a two-seater. Comment down below if you think that is correct too. I'd love to hear it. It has a max weight at takeoff of 51,900 pounds. Just imagine a chicken inside of that cockpit on there. You can see it well. That is amazing. It has a speed of Mach 1.7 plus. Just adding the plus in there, I guess, just makes it sound cooler. I guess that's how we're doing things now. Speed of Mach 1.7 plus. That is fast. And I think this is a photo, it might be of it breaking the sound barrier. Comment down below if you know anything about that too. It also has a range of 1,500 plus miles, which it's kind of surprising if you think about it, considering this is a plane that's relatively smaller on the smaller side at like 56 feet, whereas like you have like the F-15 Eagle. Go check my video out about them. That's a great video, which is 69 feet. So this is kind of a smaller one to have such an impressive range of over 1,500 miles, if you think about it. It has a ceiling of 50,000 plus feet. That's high up, and I feel like on this one the military was like, you know what, we're not going to release to any civilian just what it can do. We're just going to put like basic numbers that most aircraft can do and just add a plus to it, so they'll have to imagine. So comment down below how high you think it can really go, because I get the feeling we're probably not getting the full spectrum on all this, but 50,000 plus feet is what they say. Are you enjoying this video? I hope you are, and if you are, please go down, subscribe, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and keep watching to the end, because it is quite an incredible aircraft. Remember to subscribe. This plane also has 17,700 pounds of thrust per engine. As you see on an aircraft carrier right here, that is very cool, and this plane was used in Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, look at the fire inside those things. Everyone says when you see it on like a motorcycle and you see the fire coming out, that's not real. On planes, that is some serious thrust. And it has a cost of $29 million per unit or per plane. It has an additional 20mm Vulcan Vulcan cannon. Pronounce that for me down in the comment section below. But yeah, 20mm cannon also. Wow, this plane has incredible statistics. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Go watch my other videos. I have a video about the F-22 Raptor, F-15, C-130 Hercules. You know what? Just go to my channel and see them all, because they're all good. Especially if you enjoyed this one, please subscribe. Have a great day. Hand axe and satchel. Captain, we need a plane that can drop 20,000 pounds of bombs, but also defend itself against enemy fighter jets. You need the B-29 Super Fortress. Welcome back, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be doing another fun and interesting video that I am sure you're going to love. This one is about the B-29 Super Fortress. It is a bomber plane. Yes, that's right, a bomber plane. I've been wanting to do a video about a bomber for a long time, but has never found the time to do it, so today we're going to get right into it. Now, don't be a chicken, let's keep going. An impressive length of 99 feet. Now this is just as long. This is actually longer than the C-130 Hercules. If you haven't seen my video about that, go and check it out. It's pretty darn good. Then we also have to note that it has, as you can see in this picture, a pretty darn good view of it in this picture, the 4R3350 engines, and they generate thrust, but you'll find out later how much. The B-29 Super Fortress also has a ceiling of 33,600 feet. Not the highest, but pretty darn impressive when you think about the fact that it was manufactured in 1942. This plane also has a weight of 133,500 pounds. That is heavy. In addition, the plane has a range of 3,700 miles. Yes, 3,700 miles. That is a really long range. If you start getting into planes and aircraft and finding out the range, that is a pretty darn long range, especially for military aircraft. Now on the top, if you look closely, you can see the little bowls and dome-looking things. Those are the 850 cal machine guns on the top. Cool. You know what else would be really cool? Is you hitting that subscribe button. I need every subscriber I can get. I'm trying to get to 1 million, and currently I think I'm at like 67 or 68, so I need you to go and click subscribe. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the aircraft. That's right, the thing that makes a bomber, the payload. And as you can see here, 20,000 pounds of bombs. And don't quote me, but I'm nearly 100% sure the B-29 was the one to deliver the nuclear bomb. Now, I'm not completely sure, but I'm pretty darn sure on that. So if you want to go and look it up, let me know in the comments section below, because I'd love to see it. I love seeing your guys' comments. Comment. The B-29 Super Fortress also has a speed of 357 miles per hour. Now that is the maximum speed, not the cruising speed. The cruising speed is below that, but as a max speed, considering it's a 4-engine prop plane, that is rather impressive. Also in this picture, we get a good look at the detailed front panel of glass. It's super unique. It's like a dome of glass. In the next photo, you'll get to see from the inside. Yep, I said from the inside, and I wasn't kidding. This is the inside of Fifi, the B-29 Super Fortress. I'm pretty sure that actually might be the last surviving B-29 to this day. Because, like I said, 1942, manufactured in 1942, it is a World War II plane. So, there's still only one surviving plane, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, but I'm nearly positive. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it just as much as I did. If you found it interesting, please subscribe. Have a great day. Hand axe and satchel. Captain, our A-10 Warthogs are now outdated, and using them could cost us a battle. Make a plan to replace it, this time with a fighter jet. Welcome back, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be doing a video about the F-35 Lightning. That's right. It was made in 2001, and its primary purpose is a multi-role fighter, and it will be replacing the old A-10 Warthogs and F-16 Fighting Falcons. Let's get into the video, because this is going to be a pretty darn exciting one. It's up there, I'm pretty sure, with the F-22. Let's see more. a lightning, see what I did there, speed of 1,200 miles per hour. That is some pretty fast flying if you ask me. It has a ceiling of above 50,000 feet. That's high up. That is really high up. It has a whopper of a range of 1,350 miles. That is a long ways out. On the front fighter jet, we see the markings AFO chicken. Whoops, my bad. AFO4. That was just me letting out some of my inner comedian. You could say I was hatching a plan. Okay, I'll stop. It has an impressive length of 51 feet. That's not that impressive, actually. There are a lot of fighter jets that are much longer. But you gotta say, it looks cool. It looks really cool. Wait, before we get to thrust, which I do know you're waiting for, because this plane has some serious thrust, especially for one engine. I'm not going to spoil too much, though. Please go down and hit the subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and if you hit the notification bell, you're going to be getting notifications of when I post these super cool videos, so that you can be the first one to see them before anyone else. That way you can go and have bragging rights to your friends, say, I know the statistics about a fighter jet, and they'll be like, I don't. Stats, like it has 43,000 pounds of thrust for one engine. That is so cool. Imagine if you were to put two of those engines onto, like, I don't know, an F-15, which has two engines, which each only generate around 20,000 pounds of thrust. Then you would have, that'd be like 80,000 pounds of thrust. That'd be even cooler. But this is still incredibly cool. 43,000 pounds of thrust on one engine. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, put down in the comments section below what you want to see more of. I'd love to see it. I'll probably make a video about it. Tell me anything that special experiences you've had with this jet or with any other jet on any of the other videos I've made. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys for watching so much. Hand Axe and Satchel signing off. Captain, our ground troops have been surrounded by tanks, and there are no other big military bases around from which we could launch fighter jets from. We need the A-10 Warthog. It can take off from short runways and shred tanks. As you've probably guessed by this point, we're going to be doing the Hand Axe and Satchel edition of the A-10 Warthog. Now, this video is one I have been super excited about making. It is about the A-10 Warthog, a super cool jet. So let's get right into it. It was manufactured in 1975, and it is used for close air support. It has a length of 53 feet. That is a decent length, especially when you consider, the F-35 Lightning is only 51 feet, so this is longer than the F-35 Lightning. And if you haven't seen that, it'll probably be coming out pretty darn soon, so subscribe if you want to see it. Oh, and in addition to subscribing, please also hit the notification bell. That way you'll make sure that you get alerted every single time I post, so you never miss one of these super cool videos. This plane has a speed of 420 miles per hour. That is not the fastest as when you consider in fighter jets and all that sort of stuff, but it is still pretty darn fast. I'm pretty sure it's faster than most passenger jets, so that's cool. It has 9,065 pounds of thrust per engine, and in this picture, you not only get a good view of both engines, but also of that 30mm Gatling gun that it uses to shred the tanks. It's famously said that it sounds something like a brrrr or something like that. Okay, don't even talk to me about my machine gun sounds. I can't do them. But you get the general idea. It's super cool. Another thing that would be super cool is if you scrolled right down, or even went to the Hand Axe and Satchel symbol in the bottom right hand corner of the video and clicked subscribe. It'd be super easy for you and super helpful to me. So if you want to see more videos like this, and make sure you never miss an opportunity to share with your friends super cool facts about these wonderful airplanes and sound super cool at the same time, make sure to hit subscribe. Thank you so much, guys. It has a ceiling of 45,000 feet. Now, again, comparing it to let's compare it to the F-15, the Eagle this time. I'm pretty sure the F-15 has 50 or 55,000 feet. No, the F-15 has 65,000 feet, I'm pretty sure. and it's another one. Go check out my videos if you want to see which one has the 50 or 55,000, because if you watch them, you'll see them. But that is pretty close to jet level flying, so that is so cool. This plane has a range of 800 miles in addition, and it was considered one of the safer aircraft for pilots because of its additionally armored front cockpit area. Also, is that a chicken on the thruster? I can't tell from here. It looks like it could be chicken. I could be wrong. Thank you for watching this hand axe and satchel production. If you want to see more videos like it and have an idea of a video like it, please put it down in the comment section below. Go watch the rest of my videos. If you like this, you'll totally enjoy the rest of them. Please subscribe, it helps me out, and have a wonderful day. Hand axe and satchel signing off. What are the numbers so far? We've just lost $143 million worth of aircraft, Sergeant. Has our entire F-15 fleet been destroyed? No. We lost one F-22 Raptor. Welcome back, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. Today we're going to be talking about the new fighter aircraft of the U.S. Air Force's air fleet. This is called the F-22 Raptor. It began service in December of 2005. It is a extremely cool aircraft. It has air-to-air and air-to-ground capabilities, and let's dive into some of the amazing capabilities of this aircraft. It has an impressive ceiling of 55,000 feet in the sky. It has a long range of 1,600 nautical miles. Wow, in this picture you get a good view of those fuel tanks. This plane, designed for stealth, has a length of 62 feet. As you can see clearly in this photo, it's two thrusters. Each of those thrusters produces 35,000 pounds of thrust. Wow, looking at the heat behind those things, you put your chicken nuggets behind there and you wind up with grilled chicken. But before you go too far Googling where the nearest F-22 dealership is, you should be warned of this aircraft's hefty $143 million price tag. But that price tag comes with good reason. This aircraft has super cruise abilities, and it is designed for stealth. In addition, this plane has some of the best U.S. military technology there is today. Also, if you're liking this video and finding it useful, please make sure to click the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and turn on the bell. I know you've probably heard this from pretty much every other YouTuber, but it really does make a difference. So please scroll right down and just click it. I'll wait here for you. Let's move on. One thing this aircraft has for certain is speed. This is in the Mach 2 class, which means it is 2 times the speed of sound. That is fast. It also has super cruise capabilities. That is one shiny gold cockpit right there. Also, in this picture, you also get a good view of its Delta wing design. I think that's Delta. Put in the comments if it is. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Have a hand gotcha signing off. Captain, we're in trouble. We need a ship that can airlift 42,000 pounds of cargo. What plane could do that? What you need is a C-130 Hercules. Welcome back, Hand Axe and Satchel viewers. As you might have guessed, today we're going to be looking at the C-130 Hercules. It began service in 1959, and we are about to jump into its incredible statistics and abilities. Yes, you read that number correctly. 345 miles per hour at 22,000 feet in the air. Think about that for a second. Now think about you're carrying 42,000 pounds, spoiler, of cargo. Wow. As a note, it is powered by 4 turboprop engines. I know I just kind of gave it away, but it can carry a maximum allowable payload of 42,000 pounds. That is a lot of weight. That is equivalent to 6 pallets, 90 combat troops, 60 paratroopers, or 72 litters. That is incredible. I know I'd be too chicken to jump out of one of those like a paratrooper. It has a surface ceiling of 28,000 feet. That's with 42,000 pounds. Put in the comment section below how high you can jump carrying 100 pounds. This can be a competition and see who wins. But yeah, think about that. 42,000 pounds inside one plane. In one plane that's not even that particularly long. If you think about it, the F-15 that we featured in the previous video, if you haven't seen that, go check that one out, is, say, 63 to 70 feet, let's put it at 67. That means that this plane, which can carry 42,000 pounds of cargo, is only 30 feet longer than a fighter jet. Think about that, that's incredible. Also, in this photo, you get to see a good look at those 4 turboprop engines. Also, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you don't like it, I'd love to see you hit that dislike button. It's gonna be hard, but I want to see it if you don't like it, so that way I can do better videos. And if you do like it, hit subscribe. Also, if you could share it with your friends, especially if you think this video is cool and they might enjoy it, share it all around. I love seeing you guys. Thank you so much. This plane also has a range at max payload. Can you get it? Can you get it? 42,000 pounds, as you might have remembered from the previous slides. 42,000 pounds, and it can travel 1,000 nautical miles with that. That is a long ways. And this plane truly does earn the title of global airlift function really well. This is a phenomenal global airlift plane. So, that's all. Hand Axe and Satchel, signing off. Wait, before you go, if you want to see the previous video I talked about, go to my page and click on the incredible F-15 video. That one talks about the F-15 fighter jet, F-15 Eagle. I think you might enjoy that one too. Check out my channel. I have multiple different topics. See what you like. Give me feedback. Next, I really did enjoy making this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, please subscribe, hit the like button. You know what to do down there. Tell me what you want to see next. I don't get many comments, so if you do comment, you're most likely going to be seen. I definitely will see it, and maybe I'll make the next video about that thing. It is very likely, because I don't get many comments, so if you're there, I'm going to read it, and I might do it.